Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, everybody.
Yes,
we rushed it in.
We rushed it in under 2:07. I think yesterday might be the only day you guys won at the under-over game.
We actually could have probably started 2 minutes ago, but we were sitting here doing our Superman poses.
Kenny Soto, I think you're requesting an extra like opportunity because of the topic of the show. I think it has to do with the beer. You happen to like the Flagship beer. And I think you're also one of those guys, I don't think it matters what is in the can, but if it says Flagship, you're a fan.
Oh, he's a Flagship guy.
Yeah,
all right, that's good to know.
That's one of those things we got to talk about. So anyway, welcome to live from Rabs.
Yeah, if I turn you
inside. You know what's on it? I didn't. Well, I just reopened it. We have this running joke of reminding each other to lower your volume, set up your, get ready.
It's usually not reminding each other. It's them reminding me.
Yeah, producer Liz and myself have to tell Naz to lower the volume, and so she got me this time. Trying to pull up comments. So welcome to Live from Rabs, episode 31.
31 big episodes.
Live from inside Rabs Country Lanes.
If you think about it, in another 21, it will be almost a year if this was a weekly series.
You're right.
Think about it.
Well, we got extended, so we
it's big news. It's big news.
I
can't wait for the announcement of the Oscars and Grammys and see if maybe we get nominated for something.
It would be an Emmy.
An Emmy. Okay, whatever they call them. I don't know.
I mean, unless you want to start making music and we can get nominated for Grammys.
Well, maybe one of our musical, maybe our talent show will win a musical episode. Maybe your musical episode will win it.
Try that again.
Yeah, I'm stumbling today.
You're struggling today? You okay?
Yes, I need to.
You need to take some more. Yeah. Well, welcome to Inside Rabs Country Lanes, where anything can happen. And for those of you who've been watching at home on a regular basis, know that what happens here first.
Breaking news
first. And live on this show yesterday, towards the end of the show, we had a breaking news moment where we decided to launch Rabs Got Talent.
Rabs Got Talent.
It happens live on the show. As we were sitting here, we came up with an idea. The Butlers were with us, and the talented Butler family, and we thank them for joining us and showing off their talents yesterday. But the cool part was that it turned into another idea.
And that's how usually it happens with us.
Yeah, we're just sitting here. And we reminded you that this is like being in our office. So if you ever come by the office and you come in and you're listening to a conversation, one, you can't just enter the office speaking. You have to wait, unlike some people.
Right. Yeah.
Vicky.
Most people don't do that. Most people just come right in and start speaking and interrupt our conversation.
Yeah. There are clearly two people in the office are working across from each other. And we talk all day across each other. There's no reason for me to stand in front of your desk or you in front of my desk. I mean, we do that too.
Yeah.
But why? They just walk from either door. They just just come in whatever they got to say.
At one point, we put a sign up. Sorry if I'm interrupting your conversation. Or, yeah, something like that.
We probably insulted a few people.
Right.
Yeah. We did insult a couple of people with that sign. But that's okay. We didn't really care. I mean, it's our office, our space, and you're the one interrupting, and get over it.
Fun. Moving forward.
I know other people that would
So
feel
let's
the same
talk
way.
about Rabs Got Talent.
So Naz, we still have to figure out the details, but all we know is that we're going to have a post this week that's going to invite you to submit a video showcasing your talent. So your talent, we want to see our customers and our community come back and show us their talent, and it'll be a talent show virtually, and you'll share
Perfect.
it. We're gonna do some voting, and
that would be great.
We've already had some great talent here on the show.
Yes, we have, and hopefully they will be maybe some of our first contestants.
It might be. It's not. I don't know. Are you going to play the What'd you call it? The
Glockenspiel.
The Glockenspiel.
And that is, no, I will not be playing that. First of all, it's probably impossible to find one. And no, I won't be playing that.
The Glockenspiel. We'll get you a Glockenspiel. I think you should show us. I think that could be your talent.
Rob Butler might have one.
He might actually have one already. He might have one in the loop, ready to go. Kevin asked for me to hit the easy button.
The
facile button. Facile. That sits on my desk.
All right. So hopefully, start thinking about what talents you want to submit, and there'll be a trophy of some kind. Yes,
we have a place
trophy.
where we can get a trophy. I'm staring at it right now. Liz is going to design a special trophy for the winner. We'll showcase them here on the live show, all over social media. It could be anything. The talent could be anything.
It could be anything. And I don't want to say the stranger the better, but it doesn't have to be your run of the mill. I sing a song, or it could be something that's maybe something that not everybody can do.
Yeah,
it's a talent.
That was breaking news live on our show yesterday.
Yes, it was.
We had other breaking news. Rob Butler shared the bowler of the day in their league.
Yes,
which happens to be Linda Festa,
his aunt.
So you just never know what kind of breaking news is going to happen.
It's craziness.
Here, I feel, it's funny. We have so with us today, we've got our friends, Matt and Jay from Flagship Brewery. And then we also have Massimo DiDonna. And if you know anything about Mas is, we'll talk about it anyway, but talking about nothing and being alive every day.
They've made quite a show out of talking about nothing.
Yeah, and the beauty part, Moss is listening, and I know Moss, just so you know, I don't have anything that could cut you off. Now, the rule here, we do have a rule that says no politics. So I left our red hats inside, and I left our gear inside. However, I don't have anything to cut you off. I just might have to click exit.
You said our red hats.
I'm not saying you and I. I'm just saying multiple people have. So I'm just saying,
wearing a red hat.
Just saying, we're leaving those at the door, but I can't cut you off like your supposed friends do. Anyway, so it's a fun day. This is gonna be a fun day.
I'm looking forward to it.
So Staten Island is home to this awesome brewing company, and we've got Matt and Jay, and we're gonna talk some beer. We were talking about them. Last Thursday with Ken Torado and Pam Silvestri on our show when we were talking about food. And of course, when we talk about food in Staten Island, we talk about alcohol and beer. It's only fitting. And Ken Torado was talking about his favorite beers, which included some of the Flagship brews. So, hey guys, welcome.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you.
So, how are you guys holding up? Looks like you guys are home.
I'm home. Jay is not at home. Yeah, we're doing well. I've been pretty much working from home for a couple of weeks now. I'm a little bit high risk. So I've been laying low, and Jay's been covering off for me. So we're
high maintenance
working
risk at the same time.
So what's happening right now at Flagship?
So obviously, the State Liquor Authority changed the laws pretty quickly as this all kind of onset, and kind of their bars and restaurants weren't allowed to have people in them anymore. So they realized that, bars, restaurants, and breweries that have tap rooms like ourselves, we needed another way to try to bring in some revenue and to still be able to, to get our product out to people. So they allowed for the first time home delivery, which is something we've never, ever been able to do before. So it was a great thing to be able to do. But that being said, it was something we needed to learn on the fly. So we kind of got the digital end of it down so people could then go in and do, place their orders online, which we'd never done before, and then start delivering out to Staten Island. So that's really what we've been doing a lot of. We're still, selling beer to our distributor, which then makes it out to the supermarkets and bodegas and things like that. But obviously the retail side of our business has now gone completely to home delivery.
Is that something that you think you might keep after things go back to normal?
I don't think they're going to allow that.
Wouldn't it be nice if they did?
It would be great, because we're kind of discovering you know, it's good sometimes to slow things down and kind of be able to speak to your customers and the people that are drinking your beer, which is what we've kind of seen over the last couple of weeks here. And to really talk to them directly, you know, get them invested in your brand. And we've opened up the deliveries now to Brooklyn on Tuesdays. And this week we added Manhattan on Wednesdays. We're seeing nearly almost 20 deliveries every Tuesday to Brooklyn. We have some deliveries already lined up for Manhattan tomorrow. So it's,
Wow.
you know, we feel like we're reaching new customers, new consumers every day, which is a good thing. But yeah, like Jay said, I mean, losing the distribution side of our business as much as we have is painful. So the state is working on some things. It does look like they're trying to extend allowing us to deliver to homes, even when things get, you know, open up a little bit.
Right.
We'll see how long that lasts.
I think we were excited. So we were open for a little while doing pizza delivery. And so we said, hey, we might as well be able to deliver some beer and liquor with it. And we did a little bit of it, but it was exciting to know that we could do it.
Right.
I mean, I would be okay even if we weren't allowed to, but at least if you guys had the capability to distribute direct to home, I think that's a great opportunity. The restaurant association and the supermarkets might not be happy about that, and I bet you they're the ones that would probably petition against it. But you know what? It's set up something that there aren't many of you in many areas, so I can't see it really dampering that. But who knows?
You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we benefit from being one of two breweries on Staten Island, where, you know, when we opened up 6 years ago, we were, I think, the 5th or 6th brewery in New York City. Now there's over 40. So, you know, Brooklyn's got obviously a lot of players in town and Queens. So they're all kind of, you know, going up against each other, probably for delivery service in Brooklyn, where, you know, it's us and Killsborough who's putting out some really good stuff too. You know, kind of the only ones out here delivering to home. So I'm sure that's benefited us in some way.
That's awesome. Hey, go back 6 years. So I can't believe it's 6 years already.
Wow.
That's awesome. I bet you time certainly flies. So go back 6 years. What was the vision here? What did you guys, how did this come about?
It wasn't delivering beer to people's homes.
The pandemic. We didn't see that one coming.
None of us did.
Yeah, I mean, I think the vision was, you know, me and Matt had been in the beer industry for a while. And, you know, we're both from West Brighton. You know, we grew up, you know, a block away from each other. Our backyards connected. So, you know, I think we saw what other breweries were doing in other boroughs around New York City and then even greater around the country. And we saw the potential for something that, you know, we really loved. And to us, it was more than just a business. It was something that could really grow and be a part of a community. And that's really, you know, I think the thing that attracted us both to craft beer in the beginning was that whole sense of the culture that comes along with a local craft brewery. And, you know, thinking of being able to do something like that where you're from is kind of like it's a dream come true. So it's something that we get to live out every day, you know, and to try to keep building on that and things like that. And then, you know, in times like this, you really see, I mean, first and foremost, we want to just say thank you so much to our customers. I mean, the response has been overwhelming. And, you know, you're keeping us alive in doing what you're doing and really, you know, buying the beer at supermarkets and all the home deliveries, because, you know, we've always felt like we try to give a little bit more if it's just the graphics on our can and obviously the liquid that comes through. And just people's reaction to that, it's been amazing. And we're truly, you know, thankful for everything everybody's doing.
You know, one of the themes here with all of our guests, we always talk about this amazing community that we're in, and we're fueled by this community too. And, you know, we want to support those who support. Everybody's first to support those who support us, right? And so having a local brewery in town certainly makes sense, and that they're gonna gravitate to that. And then to have what's happening on the North Shore, to want to go out and visit and check it out, I think makes it even more exciting.
Yeah, and your space is really different at Flagship. It's not your typical restaurant type space.
It's not your really, typical brewery.
Yeah, it's really not. So tell us about your space.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it's a you know, it's the old Anjuli Motors for people that are, you know, from Staten Island, familiar with the area. It was his repair shop. So, when we first started looking 7, 8 years ago, for locations, we had looked at a few different spots around the island, and then when we really came across this location, our eyes kind of lit up. We had to measure out the ceiling height and make sure we could fit the equipment in there that we needed to. But the way it laid out, it was kind of perfect to incorporate the tasting room and then have the production side. So our production side is a 10,000 square foot facility. We have a 15-barrel high-gravity brew house. We started with 3 30-barrel fermenters 6 years ago. We now have 11 plus 2 bright tanks, also 30 barrels. We actually recently just converted our bottling line, and we just purchased a canning line that we started using about a month ago. So the bottling line is still on site, but we're not in use right now. But yeah, the tasting room is about 3,000 square feet. We probably didn't envision doing as many parties as we started to do over the 6 years.
Right.
But it's just a very open layout, kind of German style beer garden look. A lot of wood, but it's transformed. I mean, if we showed you pictures from the day we opened to now, it's a completely different animal.
Yeah, and so Joe Labargo, our historian of the Staten Island Bowling Hall of Fame, reminds us that was a bowling alley.
I've heard that from other people too, but then I also heard that was further down.
Yeah.
No, it was in that building. It was in the Anjuli building.
Oh, it was.
Yep, absolutely.
So it was Madalone's, and then there was another alley up on
further up
on the corner of Victory and the terrace there, right? That black glass building. That was another.
That I know.
That's the same building, yeah.
Building. So yeah, it was up on the front side, right? The bowling lanes were up on the front of that building.
Yes, right. Up on the Victory Boulevard.
Up on the top.
That was a beauty school at one point too, I know.
Yes, a long time ago.
Bowling and beer. Who knew? I mean, we always. According to Lori, she says Benny McNevich, that was one of his favorite places. Old time.
Yeah, it was a nice place. I mean,
couldn't tell you. I don't know,
but I could. Yeah, I know. All right.
We've been to several events there, and for an event, it's a perfect spot.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
It's a cool venue. Live music. You have your event, and I think that's what gravitates people to that space, which is, you guys should be proud of that. You say you didn't realize how many parties you booked, but it only makes sense because it's a really cool space.
Yeah, and every time we'd host a party, you'd eventually have 1 or 2 people from that attended that party call to book something of their own. So it kind of snowballed from there. But it's great for the community. We miss it right now. We wish we were still open.
And you have some neighbors down there now. That little strip there on Minthorn is building up, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's taken a few years, but the block has come to life. There's a Neapolitan pizzeria right next door to us, Flower and Oak. Yeah, a really cool British pub.
Henry's, right?
Yeah, Henry's Public House.
Yeah.
And Daddy-O's has been down there, next to us for 3 or 4 years now. So.
And we have the co-working space as well.
And Richmond was a really cool spot.
So we were talking about this specifically 2 weeks ago with Ken and Pam, the partnership with Holterman's that you got with launching that beer, which I believe sold out pretty quickly. And then here we are this week. You guys blew up the social space with your announcement on your partnership with Ralph's. And I know I sent you a message. We're excited because it's awesome. And the hard seltzer business has changed. I will tell you, in our bar serving everything, we went from serving a lot of clear liquors to brown liquors within the last 10 years, which if you look at the market, brown liquors oversold clear liquors for the first time in forever. And then when you look at the beer business, the alternatives have changed. So the Smirnoffs and the Mike's Lemonade, and then here comes Truly, which, we tried, didn't work. We introduced White Claw, sold out, can't keep it in the place, except for one flavor. And then Bud Light announces their product, and that started overselling the White Claws. I mean, if we were open right now and we had that product on our shelves, which I know we will, they'll be excited. So talk a little bit about that partnership and where that came from.
Yeah, I mean, the local collaboration aspect has always been something that's really been a cornerstone here with us. Obviously, first and foremost, we focus on making quality stuff that tastes really good. But I think especially in the competitive market that's out there now, and just in the spirit of craft beer, bringing a local collaboration to something else, especially with a company like Ralph's, which is, an iconic Staten Island brand that, obviously we've grown up with and respect, is amazing. And just, being able to have all the local people that are so established to be on board, to me and Matt and to the whole team over here, it's really about just, adding value to a product, doing a little bit more so it enhances somebody's experience. And I think with Ralph's, like when we came up with this idea, we were like, oh my God, like we need to get the people from Ralph's on board for this because it'd just be so great. And Larry was fantastic from day one. Matt had a contact to get us in touch, and he came down to the brewery, and I think he kind of looked at us a little weird when we first said hard seltzer, but as we, he saw how excited we were, and we started going into it, he was immediately on board. And I think we have something really, really cool in our hands that people are going to really enjoy, and it should be fun. So
So talk about the flavors.
Sure. I actually have some of the mocked up cans here, so I could show you a few of them. Yeah, so it's 3 different flavors. The first one being my favorite, which is lemon. The Ralph's lemon ice there. And then we have watermelon as well.
Those cans look cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. And then this is Matt's, Matt demanded this because this is his favorite. The orange creamsicle.
I demanded orange creamsicle.
I've heard from a lot of people this is there. So it's it'll be four of those cans each in a variety 12-pack of cans that looks like this. So there, it's upside down. That you'll be able to get out, in a little carrier 12-pack, just like you'd see anything else. So it'll be the 4 cans of each different style out of the 3, and we're hoping to get this out, in the beginning of May. We have a lot of it in the tanks, but it looks like demand is building at this point. So me and Matt and the whole team here, Sam, we're kind of stressing now of just making sure that we get this launch done the right way, so that's really kind of been what we're doing. But on the other end, we also have a lot of demand for the beer being sold to home. We just launched our summer ale last week, which I see you have there as well.
I just cracked it open. It's delicious.
Thank you very much.
First time that I'm drinking on the set, just saying. Having vodka in my
not the last.
And definitely with the first beer can you've ever had a hot dog and a hamburger on as well. So
yeah. Well, I have to say the label,
this is good.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, Blood Orange is our best own beer.
Yeah,
we
like this.
So I will say you guys did an awesome job on the packaging. One, helping keep it local, and it's fun. And I see Tom's in here. I believe Tom DeVito. Did I see that he works with you guys on designing your labels?
Tom works with us on everything.
Yeah.
God bless him and his team and Jediah over there.
They've been awesome.
I mean, we get quite demanding when it comes to this stuff, and we really like to get down to a T. And there's been days where I've just gone to their office and just sat there and been with them for the entire day, just doing the little dotting the T's and dotting the I's and crossing the T's. So they're fantastic, and I mean, they really understand our brand. They they've been with us for a while now, and I don't know what we do without them.
We do some work with Tom and Company as well. I think Jediah would kill me if I went to the office and sat with him working on projects.
He wants to kill me every time I go there, but
sometimes I feel it through the email. Dude, you're killing me. That's awesome. So of course, you haven't. Obviously, there's a big demand for the Ralph's product, which I think is really going to be awesome. And of course, the questions that we got before you even got in here, and it's already in here. You want to make it right, so you want to have a launch, and so you're probably a little bit slower. What's your goal? You have a date goal? Did you say it?
You said beginning of May.
Oh, we did. I'm sorry, I missed that. Beginning of May.
Yeah, we're shooting to have it canned and ready. Did the first rollout, the first batch, hopefully ready to go from May 1st is the plan right now. But we've been on calls yesterday and Friday, and we're ordering a lot more raw materials. and getting more in the tanks as quickly as possible. But again, we want to make sure the liquid's right. And we feel like we got the packaging dialed in. So yeah, I mean, shooting for May 1st, but stay tuned on our social media and check our website, and we'll be sending out updates as we get closer.
So based on what I'm hearing, it's you don't believe it. You're not planning for it to be a limited product. It's something that might sit on the product line.
The initial plan was for it to be seasonal. We were going to roll with it through the summer, but we're talking about it every day. And I think for right now, like Jay said, we want to get the launch right, and that's our top priority. I think come the end of the summer, we'll likely make the decision that this may be a year-round product, but we haven't really finalized that yet. We may have bitten off more than we could chew here.
You know what? But I have more respect for someone that says, "Hey, we got to get it right before just doing it."
Yeah, just throwing it out there.
You guys, you could tarnish a brand by not getting it right. And so to me, even for projects that we talk about, you know what? Hey, we set a date. You know what? I'd rather push it and have it right than to go and make it worse. So kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Talk about the Holterman's project, because that was really cool. I didn't get a chance to taste it, and I'm a little miffed. But everybody raved about that product. Limited launch. It was to celebrate an anniversary, I believe, for them.
Well, I think they had the anniversary of the year prior, but again, just another iconic Staten Island brand that's based on flavor, as we are, and for us, again, that was we walked in and asked them, would you be open to doing something like this, and immediately that whole team over there, totally fantastic people, were just like, oh, that's great, that sounds fantastic. And that's how a lot of things get done here at Flagship. Is sitting around brainstorming and saying, hey, this would be really cool, and then it's always like, hey, maybe we should actually think about that idea, like maybe we can actually do that. But that
sounds familiar.
That sounds familiar.
I think that's a lot of small business, right? I mean, that's what you do. You come up with ideas, you sit and you bounce it back and forth, and to me, that's the most amazing part about what we do is you have a conversation, and then a month later, and you're holding a tangible can with a label on it that we've gone through another local company like Tom & Co. and helped us design it and come up with the ideas that are in our head, but we don't know anything. There's no way we're doing anything digital like they do and making that. So it's a lot of people come together to kind of make an idea come in, and then when we have the most fantastic brewers out there that are so focused in on the quality of what they do, and they put their own little spin on it. I mean, for the Holterman's beer, we put one of their chocolate crumb cakes right in the
tank.
And well, not in the boil. So it's a real authentic small business collaboration, and I think that's what people have kind of come to know us by. We have our mainstay products like Blood Orange and Fresh Kills that are always going to be there and always be top notch, but I think we all know that the public is always looking for something more, something cool, and that's what we're trying to always, spin and do authentically and bring it out there. So that was another great example of that. So hello to all the Holterman's people out there too. Great, great team.
They're right down the block for me, so it's very dangerous that I can literally just walk there and enjoy that. It's not a good thing. It's a great thing, but it's not a good thing at the same time. So it's funny. I mentioned it before. You guys launched. We have a handle, and of late we've kept the Blood Orange IPA because it's one of the better moving products for us. It doesn't. The crazy thing about having Flagship on tap, and then even offering it in the can, which we could offer more products. Whatever the tap is, customers don't even ask what the actual product is. They just say, "Hey, I'll have the Flagship." And I've seen that not just in our bar, I've seen it in other bars too. It's a culture that's been created, which I think is awesome.
That's good.
Everybody that comes in that wants a Flagship, hey, I'll have Flagship. They don't, and when you tell them, yeah, it's fine. It doesn't matter what it is. They want it because they either they like them all, or more importantly, support a local brew.
Right.
Do you see that? Do you see that in other bars too?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, I do hear that. I have a good buddy of mine works over at Lee's. does the same thing. Does the crowd that comes in there, if they drink Flagship, they drink Flagship, regardless of what style is on tap. But yeah, I mean, we appreciate all the support. And for somebody to just drink the brand because it's local and they're supporting it, it's really why we do this.
Yeah, and you guys have been awesome for us. We have our golf outing every year, and you guys always support, make sure we have beer. Sadly, of course, we would be having it in a couple weeks, and we're not going to be having it when we had planned. So stay tuned. 2021 will be a great year for us.
Yeah.
But we thank you guys for your support of that event, too.
It's awesome.
Everybody looks forward to enjoying the beer with a hot dog.
We love that event.
Yeah, it's a great event.
It really is. It's a great event. It's usually probably the only time every year that I golf, and then my golf clubs stay here at the brewery the rest of the year. Good for everybody on a golf course because I'm terrible. But,
we're glad that we're your golf outing for the year.
Right. But it's always a great time. And thank you for all your support over the years, too. You've always carried our products and things like that, and we truly appreciate it.
No. Thank you guys. We're in this together. We certainly couldn't survive without all the fellow businesses in our community, and we need to support those. It's funny. The rain is coming down, and it's amazing what you hear in this building
when it's quiet.
Hey, I want to bring in Moss, and so Moss is with us today. Where is he? There he is. Hey, Moss.
I go every time I go there.
So Moss, you hear it straight from these guys. We're talking about beer. Did you grab yourself a beer now?
I actually had some Flagship here, but Tom DeVito took it out of the refrigerator. So we have no more, but it was his. I think when he was to help designing the bottles, he left a couple of cans here, but I guess Katie drove him to the point that he had to sneak out of the house, leave the kids behind, and come take whatever was left. So, but I'm just going to sell Tom's toys now to get even. Yes, he does.
Hey, Moss. So, what do you think about this Ralph's collaboration? Are you excited, like everybody else is excited, or is it just a typical white girl drink that everybody's going to be excited around?
So, I obviously, as a Staten Island business, anytime two businesses can come together for a brand is great. But when you have two brands like Flagship and Ralph coming together, it's like the yin and the yang. That now they're together, like both universes collided into one. I think it's great. I really I am not a huge beer drinker. I'm going to disclose I'm more of a Scotch guy. Only reason being post bariatric surgery, the carbonation totally destroys my inside. But like after a beer or two, I'm like I get that bloatiness. But that's just because of bariatric surgery. But I've been to your spot many times. I'm good friends with Sam and Julie. And you guys have a great spot. And I take the little sippies because if I have too much, I get messed up. But I think it's going to be. You guys are onto something. I think the salsa thing is great. And we just had a brown out here on the South Shore of Staten Island. So how about you guys? What do you guys? There it comes.
Whoa.
It's coming down. We haven't had that yet.
Let's check out the window. Hold on. Let's make sure we're all right. The building is not on backup generator, so if we do lose power, I'll have to go outside and start it. But if we're broadcasting from home, we're on backup generator. But yeah, I mean, it's great. I think it's I saw that last night or 2 nights ago. When was the launch with the Ralphs? Was it the last few days?
Yeah, we put it out on Friday. Just kind of showcasing what it was all about, and then saying that it's going to be out beginning of May. So
yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I'm looking forward to. I always like to try everything. I'm that guy. I try a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I can't wait to try to beat Frank Wilkinson in bowling. That's going to be fun. You're not going to finish the game, just so you know. One way or the other, I'm taking you out.
No problem, Moss. No problem.
Best of luck, guys. Honestly, that's great, and that's what makes Staten Island so special. We come together, we figure it out, and unfortunately, I almost have to agree with you guys. I think once we're allowed out of our house, they're probably going to revoke you being able to deliver beer, which is totally messed up because you probably got the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
We'll have to petition for that.
Yeah, either way, I'm just happy we can do it now. I know that we have so many great bars and restaurants and supermarkets that are all carrying our products. So, however we can all float and get through this is what makes, the most sense, to us here as a team. So after that, we'll figure it all out. And if it goes back to normal, that's fine because the relationships we already have in place. So it's all good either which way.
Well, for us, I totally get it. I mean, for us, we came to work on March 15th. On March 16th, they turned off the faucet, and we're sitting here. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, listen, there are certain businesses, adapt, figure it out, and try to, figure out different ways to make money. I've thought of every way possible. I am totally against the virtual event. By trade, being a DJ is how I started. I mean, how the next song I play comes from the excitement and the reaction to the crowd, right? So, like, I can only get so much through a webcam, right? So, for us, I think we're going to have to hold off. I mean, some virtual stuff, but you guys adapted, and that's what's going to make you guys survive. So, hats off to you guys.
So we heard it here first on Live from Rabs. Moss is setting up a petition on change.org to petition Governor Cuomo that we're going to be allowed to, the brewery's allowed to deliver to home.
Right.
They should. I mean, listen, guys, business today is so hard, and it's so hard to make a dollar. And let's be honest with you, people are crazy. Like we were saying, we have our own show. Mike Bloomey, I mean, he doesn't go to the mailbox without putting a Tyvek suit on and has no, I'm being serious. This kid literally takes his mail and sprays it out and then takes it. And now he found out this new thing. If you put something in the microwave for 15 seconds, it kills everything. So anything and everything you send to his house, now he puts in the microwave. Little does he know, I mailed him a letter, but I wrapped it and I put aluminum foil inside the letter, and I chemically puts it in his microwave and it blows up.
Yeah. My son did that with a toy car about a year and a half ago. It didn't go well.
That's a tough one. But, I think people are always going to – it's a service that if you're able to adapt, I mean, it kind of makes sense. And it's a good argument, right? I mean, we want to be able to socialize, but think about it. The argument could be allow us to build the beer to people's houses. People won't drink and drive.
It's true. It's true.
So,
hey, Mark, before I let Jay and Matt go back to work, you want to ask them anything before we send them off?
No, another brownout. I can't wait to come down to you guys again. The Executive Club, we hosted a social down by you guys on January in middle of January. I wasn't able to go. I don't remember why. I think something conflict with parent teacher, one of these things that my wife dragged me to. But I look forward to coming down there and hanging out and sitting at the bar and relaxing. Like I can't wait. And good luck with everything with the Ralph's Ices. That's going to be that's a game changer, And I bet you, how many people did you turn around and say that to? And they were like, "Oh, that's a stupid idea." And then next thing you know, we've seen a lot of stupid people make a lot of money. Right?
Well, listen, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
You get back up and running quick too. You've built a pretty fantastic business here on Staten Island. So
Absolutely.
We hope that you're back up and going soon. And the same thing to you, both these over at Rabs. We know that Rabs is more than just a bowling alley. It's a whole culture of people that that's what they do, and they're into bowling. So I hope to see your customers back, and I hope to see you guys back. But thanks for doing this.
Selling beer. Selling beer.
Right? Yeah, selling beer.
Wow.
Yeah, the funny part about with that, if we were reading in all these opening in the phases, so just something that's kind of blipped in phase one. They're saying that sporting venues can open in phase one, but bars can't. So, one of the challenges, so I think it's today that bowling centers in Georgia
or Friday
have the opportunity to open. But the question is, can they open their bars? Now, some of them are dry in dry counties, so they don't. But the ones that have bars, so customers can't congregate in the bar, but a small group of people can congregate with their liquor outside in the bowling area. So it's really, for us, it's going to be an interesting, it'll be an interesting shift in how we open. That's another story. But you just mentioned, hey, we want to get the place back up and running, but that's a big piece of it too.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I want to throw out there to Matt and Jay is that one thing that you guys know I'm going to do, and it's going to be massive, is that once this thing is over, we're going to throw a huge thanking all of our first responders. So we hope to have flavor.
We're in. You let us know. We're in.
Yeah, whatever you need.
concert, something massive, bombastic, as we like to say, obnoxious, and just a way to say we beat this. So we'll be reaching out shortly once we can get a permit to file it.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I just had one question for Jay and Matt. Usually in a partnership or a team like you guys have, one is the more creative one and one is a little bit more pragmatic. So how does that work with you two guys?
We disagree a lot. But we always talk through it. Jay's definitely more creative, more entrepreneurial than I am. I go out and sell beer, but we do collaborate all the time on the packaging you see in front of you, the beer styles, along with our brewing team and stuff. So it's a collaborative effort. But Jay, we have our disagreements. Sometimes we yell, but we always get through it.
Yeah, I mean, me and Matt have known each other forever, and I think that we definitely have some different thoughts when it comes to different things, but it's usually the creative process of us working through it, where the best of those two things, and that's what the product comes out to be. Hopefully, something great and something fun. So I'm going to keep them around for a little bit longer.
All right, hey, we're not starting any fights. Hey, thank you guys.
Thank you,
Matt and Jay, for
you.
joining us
Thank
today.
you for having us.
No, thank you so much for having us.
I had a lot of fun.
You got it. Stay dry.
Take care, guys.
Healthy, all right?
Bye bye.
You too. Stay safe.
So Moss, this is nuts, this weather right now. This is crazy. This is the second time in a week or two that we've had this.
I think last Friday.
So since breaking news always comes on, with you guys, a tornado warning issued for the Bronx. Just throwing it out there, breaking news.
Tornado warning in the Bronx?
Issued for Bronx, Nassau, New York, and Westchester.
Oh. All right. I don't know. Yeah. Again, we're back to tornado warnings.
Shelter in place again. No, wait, we're already doing that.
So, hey, Moss, one, thanks for joining us today. I know you're in between shows. You got your show happening in a little bit. So I got a couple things I want to talk to you about. One, we could talk about everything and anything
You
all
should
day.
see tornado warning in the Bronx. People are going to think it's here.
Oh, Bronx.
I thought the tornado warning was Anthony Wilkinson running up Highland Boulevard.
That too. So, hey, talk a little bit. So I want to start in one place. So one, you talked a little bit about your business. And of course you're affected too with these cancellations of events. Are you seeing people talk about rebooking, cancellations? What does this look like for you?
So it's pretty simple, right? Most clients are postponing, right? The problem is postponement is interesting at this point. Why is that? Because when am I postponing, right? If my party was supposed to be the first week of May, do I postpone to June? Do I go to July? Do I go to August? Do I kick the can down the road? If I had the answer, I swear I would pick the numbers for the Mega Million or the Lotto, not the date of your party, and I give you the money. I do your party for free. Realistically speaking, I would say most events are postponing to summer and fall. When this first started in March, we had a wave of people that postponed to the end of May, and obviously we've had to kick that can down the road. I think talk politics, but between the president, the governor, and the mayor, one goes left, one goes right. You got one guy in the middle saying, "What do you want from me?" We can't figure out what to make sense of this, right? One thing is for sure, and I think we're all in agreement, and I think almost, in your situation, people are going to look at occupancy. People are going to say, hey, if my restaurant could hold 100 people, maybe May 15th, they're going to allow 25% of your occupancy. And then maybe June 1st, 50%. Again, I don't have any more information than what everyone else has, but that's what I'm crossing my fingers is that on May 1st, which is a Friday, I believe, that we'll get some type of announcement that, hey, we're in a good spot, and in the next week or two, we're going to start to allow, restaurants to respect social distancing and maybe 25% occupancy. And then as long as we don't get a flare up, June 1st, 50% occupancy. And then June 15th, 75% occupancy. And I'm really hoping and in my heart that 4th of July 2020 is our second Independence Day.
That would be nice.
I hope it's huge. But I think people are going to realize that, instead of that, I'm okay, I'm still going to go out tonight. I think people are going to say, you know what? I think I'm going to stay in tonight. I can just tell you from what I've seen, my wife is the fever Nazi. If my children have a fever 24 hours, they need to be 24 hours fever free before going to school. I mean, I remember growing up, nice Italian family, unless I was dead,
Right.
unless I was dying, okay? I could be missing a limb. My mother was going, "You're going to school. I don't want to hear no shit." But and listen, I think we've changed as a society. I think people are going to be a little bit more respectful of just saying, "Hey, I'm feeling under the weather. I'm going to pass on going to that party or going to dinner," or they're going to be a little bit more aware. But just my opinion from what I see. But
yeah, no, I think we're on the same page because you're at the mercy of venues also. Right. So postponement today. Okay, so I had an event that was scheduled for May 1st, so I have to postpone it. Well, now I have to assume that the venue even has a date for me that's available.
The process starts with the venue.
Yeah.
Typically the venue will give a handful of dates, and then they'll start, and it starts the ball rolling. Yeah. If you're kicking the can down the road 6, 8, 9 months, a year from now, it's a little bit easier. If you're trying to get September, October of this year, it's going to be hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're in the same boat with events and fundraisers are then and you're so involved in the community. So you guys run a lot of events. So let's say I have an event in May. I can postpone it till December, but then I'm back at it again 5 months from now. Can I effectively run a fundraiser? Right. 2 fundraisers. You know what? I might have to just cancel it and work on the next one. That's what winds up happening.
So I think social events have postponed. Corporate events have postponed. I think the non-for-profits, and let's shift gears a little bit, the Carl Beanie Fund golf outing that's scheduled for June 22nd, Tom, I'm still waiting for the final product anyway, is going to be October 8th. And I don't know how I feel about asking people to, give me $1,500 for a foursome. I don't know how I feel about sending an advertisement to Rab's Country Lane and saying, "Frank, can I count you in for a whole sponsor again?" Not that $200-300 is going to make or break anybody, but there are so many NFTs on Staten Island, and it's not just one, So the non-for-profits are definitely going to take a beating. We know that for us, the Beanie Fund is totally driven on how do we raise money doing events. We suck at writing grants. We're terrible at asking people for recurring money. We're really good at doing events. Obviously, look what we do for a living. Nobody's going to produce an event cheaper than Partners in Sound and Pro Show and do a better job than us at the price point of what we can charge, which is free. Partners in Sound and Pro Show typically, donates all the equipment, and if it's small labor, we eat it. If it's a big labor bill, we obviously, do some type of collaboration where we're absorbing some of it. I don't know. How do you ask people for money?
Yeah, we're in the same boat because we have events that are really staggered time of the year. So our golf outings May, our next event's not until the fall. So I get it. And so switch gears a little bit on the Beanie Funds. You guys are awesome. So one, your Winter Bash is a party of the year. So to your point, you know how to throw a party. The crazy part, most galas are honoring people and have a program. No. If anybody's gone to this event, Naz, you're there for a party. Oh yeah, to celebrate what Moss and the team have done for the year and enjoy yourselves. And you walk into the coach's ballroom. You're walking across the bridge. You walk into a Subway. You've got handlers looking for money as they're singing to you. I mean, it's just awesome. And so kudos to you and the team for doing that. But what do you guys, you guys have done some good stuff right now. Talk a little bit about what you guys are doing.
So right now, it was funny that you say that because I have a highlight reel from Beanie Bash. It's only a 1-minute reel. If you want me to share the screen, I could show it. Yeah. So what are we working on right now? So obviously Carl Sabini was my father-in-law. He was a firefighter killed on September 11th. The family started an NFP a few years later to honor his lifelong belief in helping others. Desiree, my wife, who was my girlfriend, became my fiance, who became my wife, obviously. And right about the time she became my fiance, the gentleman that was running the organization, it was 5 years after 9/11, and just said, I'm kind of, I've moved on a little bit, from doing this. Mission of our organization is to help the local community in time of need. What are we known for? We're that organization that gives a lot of small grants. What does that mean? A family that needs some type of financial assistance, maybe, Con Ed's about to shut their electric off. Let's step in and just, get them up to par. The family needs groceries, food, a lot of small grants. A fire, immediately pick up gift cards so they can go to Target or wherever they may need to shop and be able to, get what they need. But we partner with a lot of other non-for-profits to help continue their mission. I'm a big advocate of Michael's cause. We support every NFP that sends us some type of request. If it's a journal ad or buying a raffle ticket, I got them all over my desk. Really, I could take 1,000 of them out. All of them that should have been called already, but I don't know. But ultimately, we saw, like we did after Hurricane Sandy, what are people going to need? You guys at Rabs were amazing. You guys were a huge asset and partnered through that. So we kind of took a step back and said, we're going to need to get involved. But how do we get involved? Do we get involved with giving people, gift cards for food? Do we get involved with giving money right away to families that need it? And just like we saw post Sandy, this is not a $100,000 problem, not $1 million problem. This is a $1 billion problem. And we are a small $300,000 to $400,000 a year organization. And we know that, we needed to do something. So I kind of stood back, talking to different board members, and we have active board members and we have inactive board members.
We all do.
We all do. Okay. Everyone has their purpose, right? And I saw immediately, I started listening. And I think that's the reason why we have 2 ears and one mouth. Why is that? Let's listen and try to make educated decisions. We heard the responses. We heard the requests that the first responders needed proper PPE. PPE being surgical masks, KN5s, K95s, gloves, disinfectant. What do? I cut red tape. That's where I really accelerate at. Proud to say one of our Partners in Sound franchises, Long Island, the gentleman that owns the Long Island office, Partners in Sound, is his part-time job. And that's okay because we can, in a franchise, we have models that are full-time and part-time. And that office is a part-time operation. And the gentleman there works for a company such as a Weeks and Lerman. It's like a WB Mason. And he's one of the top salesmen there. He was moved over to janitorial supplies. He called us up and said, hey, I don't know if you guys know anybody, but, I have about 1 million surgical masks. I have disinfectant. I have gloves. And I got tractor trailers of it. I said, okay, Mike, let me see what I can do. Once we started seeing the request, Beanie immediately evolved and said, you know what? We're going to take care of every first responder on Staten Island and every firehouse, every police disinfectant, receive gloves, receive surgical masks. And that was our first thing. Then we don't talk much about our next initiative, but we got a phone call from a son that his elderly mother in her, I believe, late 70s, early 80s, her roof came off week 2 of this disaster. And they had no money to replace the roof. So you're not allowed to do that type of stuff without a permit. I don't know. There's a roof on the house. We'll continue. We won't talk much more about that. Sometimes it's easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission.
Without a doubt. And then you would have had to add solar panels. So let's not tell anybody.
I don't know where the house was. I don't know nothing, but the woman has a roof on the house. We had some people that were reaching out for food assistance. We were able to secure them with some of our partners and get them some food. Recently, Richmond Company 1 on Richmond Road, their apparatus 4 is kind of falling apart. They're responding to EMS runs, and while responding to that EMS run, they are, they're first responders. They're not getting the proper support. So we chipped in and helped pay for half of their apparatus 4 to be redone. So that's what Beanie does. Now we're on our second wave. how do we go past this? We spoke to all the hospitals. We also partnered with On Your Mark. That was a big one too for businesses. We threw in 5,000. On Your Mark threw in 5,000, and collectively we're going to raise another 10,000 to give 20 restaurants $1,000 in $1,000 check, and they're going to give us back $1,100 in gift cards that they can give out to their team. So what does that do? It helps their team that are working crazy hours to get a good meal, and it helps support the restaurants that are the first people to donate to our organizations. Now, we also, with the PPE, this was very, very, very emotional for me. We went to Jersey City, and we repaid a 19-year-old debt. What does that mean? A lot of people don't realize that on 9/11, Jersey City was one of the first cities to offer mutual aid. It was faster to get to downtown Manhattan from Jersey City than it was from anywhere else. So that municipality offered mutual aid, and we found out that they had no masks, no surgical masks. They had no PP, no disinfectant, no gloves. So in the middle of driving around Staten Island, then we decided to go over to Bayonne Bridge and repay a 19-year-old debt. And we pulled into OEM, and they were like, "Why is there an FDNY truck?" I get out of the truck. OEM's like, "Moss, what are you doing here?" I said, "Paying back a debt from 18 and a half years ago." They're like, "What do you mean?" I said, "You guys came to our rescue on 9/11/2001. But we're here to give your first responders what they need so you can continue to keep your city safe." Really emotional moment for us. But that's what Beanie does. We do the right thing, and 92 cents of every dollar goes back into our initiative. But right now, money's going out the door really, really fast. Nothing is coming in, but we'll figure it out. It's a joke, like we say. We run Beanie like a business. When we need to make money, we just figure out a way to raise funds. I mean, the restaurants were always an easy way. Do a dine out, do something like that. You can't ask them now. Could we run a GoFundMe or ask people to donate on our page? Yeah, but I don't think it's the right time right now. I think we'll figure it out. I've even thought about maybe taking out a loan, right? Maybe we'll borrow a few $100,000 and then let Beanie pay back at a low interest rate to try to, continue to do good. But figure it out one way or the other.
Yeah, we get it. We're in the same boat with our foundation. By all means, money out the door, and then canceling events. That's awesome. Hey, you guys are awesome. Keep up the awesome work, and we're proud to support your efforts. Did you want to show off that video before we know you've got a place to go right now, but and you're getting yelled at. Todd is sitting here saying, "Forget it. It's midday takeover with Mike Bloomfield."
Todd, let me explain something about Todd. Todd's going to be late to his own funeral. Okay. He don't work Tuesdays. He don't work Thursdays. He doesn't do Fridays. I am working on sharing this video. Share screen. To share your screen, please install BeLive Chrome extension. Okay. Add Chrome. Add extension. Let's see what happens. We're adding.
Hey, Mike, he's busy at the moment. He's actually working. Leave him alone. We're kicking him off.
Or are they making fun of me?
Oh yeah, they're waiting for you. So a little background. So Moss, Mike Bloomfield, Todd Pavona, Techie Geek, Gotham City Productions, and Moss, Partners in Sound, host live chats every day. We start in the morning with Mike, in the afternoon with Moss, and then the late night shenanigans with Todd, and all of them appear all day long and talk about absolutely nothing. I mean, did I capture that right, Moss?
So we talk about a lot of nonsense. Every once in a while, we get something really good, but it normally just goes back to pizza.
It does.
A lot of pizza talk.
That's the link to your real show, he said.
It's funny that it will not allow me to share.
So do this when you can. Shoot it over, and then we'll make sure we share it. We'll share it with everyone.
It was such a great video too, and it's allowing me to, this is what, what? I bet you Techie Geek did something to my computer. He might be in the background trying to generate more business. Raising my rates here. It's in browser, but that's crazy. I want to try one more thing.
I wonder if they hacked. Maybe they hacked you.
They probably did. They're just a little jealous. They were very, very, very upset that you invited me and not them.
One at a time, man.
Well, I tried explaining to them that
Naz and I can't handle all three of you guys.
Yeah.
probably not. All right, I'm giving up. I'm normally share your screen is pretty easy, but I've oh wait, hold on a second. Boom, there it is. You see it?
Oh wait, I have to allow it. Where is it? We're still learning how to do things here too. Yeah, I got it. Check this out.
You see it? You hear it? My name
We
is
see your screen.
President and Chairman of the Carl Vincent Beanie Memorial Fund. I'm truly grateful and honored to be able to bring out all the toys, all the bells and whistles for a great night, to have fun, and most importantly, raise
We
money.
only see the screen. We don't see the video, dude.
Oh wait, you don't see, what are you seeing then?
I see your screen, and then it's in the playlist, but it's not. It didn't open up fully.
Hold on. Hold on. So it's here. Do you see it fully? Is it fully now?
No, it's just the file box.
That's
Like I
right.
see. Okay. Oh, it's gone. I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't know. It was showing us the file box. In the meantime, wait. Let's see.
Do you see it?
Yep.
No, same thing. We see the folder.
Yeah, hold on. Now we're close. Now we'll let them have fun with it. Oh, you know what? I got an idea. I'm going to share my screen now.
And by the way, this is them making fun of you right now on your show. Todd just sent this to me. They have the screen capture of you sitting here with us right now. So they're talking about, I don't know what they're talking about, but they're saying something about you and us. But this is what they were showing. Todd just sent me the screen grab.
All right. It's okay. I'll look at where it's coming from. All right. You see the black screen?
Yeah, wait. Boom. Yep.
My name is Massimo DiDonna, President and Chairman of the Carl Vincent Beanie Memorial Fund. I'm truly grateful and honored to be able to bring out all the toys, all the bells and whistles for a great night, to have fun, and most importantly, raise money for those in need. There was no social distancing there.
No, not at all. It was a packed house. That was awesome. And an awesome event. And that Alonzo jersey that you show, it now appears in my house.
Oh, you won it?
I mean, there's no such thing as winning when it's a silent auction. I bought it. But yes.
Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for having me. I need to go defend myself on Midday with Moss. But all of a sudden, Todd decided to show up. The kid's been MIA since last night. You guys are doing great work. I think these shows are very, very, very important. Even if we're just sitting there talking about nothing or talking about something, we all need something to pass the time. And Naz and Frank, and honestly, our businesses came to a complete halt, right? And my wife makes fun of me that I'm the busiest unemployed person she knows. But let's be honest. I think it's important that we do stuff to keep ourselves busy, right? And to me, I have no complaints. I really don't. I'm healthy. One of our partners had the corona. He spent 6 days in the hospital. he's healthy. He was actually in our office today. He came by to, he actually walked in. It was nice. I mean, it was the first person I've seen in about 6 weeks, but, because I'm still coming here every day. But I just think it's important that we continue to do stuff to occupy the time, because if not, I don't think it's healthy for us to, especially people like us, to sit home and just do nothing. We've reacted to everything that's hit our island, small or big, somehow or some way. And I mean, I remember walking through Rab's parking lot post Hurricane Sandy.
Yep.
It was massive. I mean, it was crazy. Clothes over here, food over there, supplies over here. And unfortunately, we can't do that, but we're doing something, again, just different, right? And it's important. And people, I'm sure you guys are getting texts the same way I'm getting texts. I love the way we talked about nothing today on your show, but, it made me forget for an hour what was really going on.
Yep. Without a doubt. No, and you guys keep on keeping on, keep up the good work.
Yeah.
And for everybody watching, you can catch them on their Facebook pages. Was it 9 a.m. with, who cares about him?
So
it's 3 o'clock with you.
It's 10 a.m. with Breakfast with Bloomy, which always turns into a real annoying, boring conversation. Midday with Moss at 3 o'clock. I've been pretty good, and then they start twisting, and then I go off on a blast. And then Gotham After Dark, hosted by Todd, who's never there, is at 10 p.m. So 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 10 p.m.
Awesome stuff. Well, keep up the good work. We're with you. Anything you guys need, you let us know, and we'll be at it soon. Moss challenged me to a match.
Oh,
they want to set you had the other night on After Dark. It was this cuckoo conversation after they had Anthony on their show in the afternoon, and they want to do some competition. I'm in, but then he said I was going to break my leg, so I don't know what's going to happen.
If you win, I'm winning one way or the other.
Yeah,
no, I said I wasn't going to cheat.
Yeah, all right.
Well, I figured. I said, what happened was Bloomy turned around and said we couldn't socially distance. I said, well, if I'm on lane 10 and Wilkinson's on lane 20, that's like at least 40 feet. Like we're good.
Yeah, and he hates bowling now. He's like he's just we can't bring him in the bowling conversation.
No. My family used to own a bowling alley. I know all about it, this and that. Mike, get over it. You're the guy that ruined this city with your red light cameras and your speed cameras. Mike Bloomfield, ladies and gentlemen, he's the guy.
All right,
I blame Bloomy.
We do too. All right, go ahead. Go yell at them. We'll see you soon. All right, Moss?
Love you guys. Thank you. Stay safe.
Yes, you too.
Bye-bye.
He's hysterical. And I have to laugh. If anybody that tunes into them sees what happens, it's all the shows about nothing. And then they have the other night they had Jessica Phillips from Richmond Town on. They were talking about what she's doing. So they have some guests. Yeah, but it's usually them. Just yelling at. So now, if anybody tunes in, they're going to be making fun of him and yelling about him that he was late to his own show and how long that'll last. But they did challenge me to a match, and then they pulled up the video from the SIEDC thing of me bowling.
Of you bowling.
So we'll see. We might make that happen. On Facebook, I don't know if it was one of the brands. It was Motive. One of them did a bowling match. And I don't know if it was one of the it was one of the pro shop guys, and they did a social distancing match, but they were in two different centers.
I thought about doing some kind of competition, but using not obviously bowling, but using scores somehow that were already bowled.
Oh.
So I was kind of tossing that around in my head and seeing how that could. Maybe like a bracket and somehow we would use different games from different. I don't know. I just was tossing it around. So it's a possibility. I'm gonna work on that.
So Todd, who should be on the show right now, is also paying attention to us. He says we can do a match live on Gotham After Dark. We'll broadcast in the bowling lane. So maybe we do a live from Rabs with Gotham late at night. And we do some sort of, we can't have an audience. It'll just be a couple people and do the match.
I don't want to bring anybody in here.
I don't either. I know I'm very particular with who we bring in. We'll figure that out. We're very particular who we allow into the bowling center. Today, and And I like how people use our chat to have personal conversations.
Back and forth.
Vicky, who came to work today, had a few things to do. And she made sure to let us know that she was leaving in the chat. So thank you, Vicky, for trying to fatten us up and bring us food, because that's what she does. And she brought an array of food. Eggs and potato sandwich, banana bread, cookies to feed the four of us. Thank you, Vicky. We love you. But now what am I going to do with that? It's almost all gone, though, I have to say.
It probably is. Probably almost gone.
All right, Todd. We'll talk about this. I did promise you that we would consider it. He's saying just contestants, but we would have to hand select the contestants, including those who have already been here. Maybe you and I.
Maybe me and you.
Oh, we don't get to bowl against each other.
We really no. We bowled on each other's team,
we did, yeah.
But we usually.
We're gonna have to get some thermometers. those thermal thermometers when people
I'm
are around.
So
we're getting there. To the day that we open, we'll figure it out. We're gonna mold this around. We're gonna mold it around.
Yeah, we'll mold it.
Just mold it around. Hey, breaking news, Naz. While we're sitting here, this is true story. This is not made up news. True story. I like using this crawler thing.
Now
that it's
right.
While we're sitting here, we have eclipsed 70,000 views of our episodes from the day we started to now.
That's crazy.
70,000 views. Now, if we were watching Moss and his friends, that would be 7 million views, because they just add zeros to everything. We're giving you legit information here, which is pretty cool. I'm excited. I like the facts.
Yeah, that's it.
70 million.
You know why? You know why? Because we keep it real here.
We keep hashtag. We keep it real. I like it.
We're keeping it real.
That's cool. I mean, we've been having fun doing this, and even Moss said it. It's part of keeping sane at the same time as being able to communicate and stay in touch with everybody.
Yeah.
I know we say it a lot, and I say that a lot, but it's true. It keeps us connected.
Yeah.
Are you okay with it? You took a couple sips of the beer.
I am.
You're a lightweight.
Yeah, I'm drunk.
She mumbled under her breath.
I have to say, that is good, isn't it?
It is good.
I'm
not like a big beer drinker, but that is good.
I'm not. Now, so Moss talks about having surgery. No, I didn't have surgery, but I'm not a big beer guy for the same reasons. The bloatiness. And I'm a vodka, and lately I've just been a wine drinker. I haven't even. My Tito's kind of misses me a little bit. But I'm a vodka and wine drinker. So when I do drink a beer, it's on occasion. Hey, yesterday we took a behind the scenes photo. And we posted it to our Facebook page and Instagram, and we asked you to caption and meme the photo. And so we've got a couple of really funny comments.
There were some funny.
This
wouldn't have been my pick, but this one is funny.
This one's funny, but it is funny. I mean, Naz, it's the first one.
That's fine.
We have more, but I thought this was. I think this is funny for a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
So one, this is from John Venosa, Piro. Where's the vacuum? Clearly,
it's right there.
It's right there. And sneaking up on them to take this photo was actually kind of funny, because they turned around and like, "What are you doing? Why are you bothering me for?" But we're gonna keep using those, because that's the meme of the day. John Venosa, thank you for that. I think that was funny. We got a few more that we'll continue to share. The meme of the day. You're not okay over there.
No, I'm good. I'm just quiet right now.
Can you feel the fidgetiness that's happening over there?
I feel the fidgeting. Do we need to get Jello shots? No.
Yeah, I'm good right
now. Hey, Naz, talk about the pet of the day. Ready?
The pet of the day belongs to Kathy Barkley. How cute is that dog? With the pink hat. Kathy made sure to tell me that they were not hurt. Brooklyn is not camera shy. He clearly seems happy with the hat on and happy to pose for a picture. My dog actually sometimes looks like he's smiling. Something happens where his lip gets stuck on his teeth.
Where is the picture of Presley? Come on.
I will.
You keep talking about Presley, and then you don't bring a picture.
Submit one.
You got to send me a picture. I don't have a picture of Presley. Although I took a picture last week from afar because he was running around.
Oh, look at this!
Bloomy feels insulted that we asked Moss to be on our show. Did we insult you, Michael? Michael, we're gonna have you on with us. Don't worry. This is no fly-by-night operation here.
We have lists of guests. We have to book ahead of time.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna.
we'll put him on the list.
He's feeling a little insulted. Aren't you on the air right now, hosting it with Moss? Is this what's happening? You're having your thing and you're talking to us. It could be, but Mike, we're gonna get you here. We're gonna just keep making fun of you first. Mike also. So the other night, and then.
Well, we're gonna make him come on only if he talks positive about bowling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I have to say he was burnt. I think working in the bowling center and being around bowling for a long time.
That's fine.
He got burned.
You can.
And
be burned.
We argue about that a lot.
You don't have to be negative about
it. No. He hates this. There are things that he loves about it, but he needs to. Yeah. We're gonna catch him on that. But the other night he was playing VR live on Facebook.
Really? That's what he was doing.
Yeah. It was comical. And then he says to me, "What?" So joking around, he's like, "Well, I'll come on the show, and you guys can make fun of me playing VR on your show."
Okay.
This is what we're talking about.
We have content. We need content.
Oh, hey, so it's Tuesday.
Yes, it is.
It's Tuesday. And this was what day is this? Day 30?
36.
Of the quarantine. And we've got a great week ahead of us. We've got some more special guests. We kicked off the week on Sunday. We had music yesterday. We talked beer and entertainment and
Rab's Got Talent.
There's
so much happening. It's craziness.
And now I'm burping from drinking
the beer.
Talk about who do we have on the show the rest of the week?
Tomorrow we have the one and only John Chico Edichico will be joining us, and I'm sure he will have plenty of stories to tell. And John knows a lot of people, so
he's got a lot of stories
and
jokes.
I'm sure he will be sharing some of his fond memories. And if anybody has any questions or stories they have about Chico, please feel free to share them.
So, and Thursday is our weekly check-in food. We're going to talk food with Pam Silvestri. Every day the landscape changes. We were talking Chinese.
Yep.
People were excited about Chinese food.
Yep. And she talked about it today on her show too. She was talking about that some of the Chinese restaurants are like so overwhelmed because a few of them opened up and they just got bombarded.
Which is awesome. And I hate to hear, sadly, in the news and people talking about not supporting Chinese restaurants because of the nature, whatever it might be. It's sad to hear that, and then people not support them, and that did happen. That's why a lot of them closed sooner because people were afraid or whatever it might be. It's just the rhetoric that people were sharing. So I'm glad to see the rebound and opening up.
The things people
people weren't drinking Corona beer.
Yeah,
how stupid is that?
It's a little.
They weren't drinking Corona beer. Stupid. Anyway. And, the rest of the week, we've got Chuck Gardner on the show with us.
Chuck is joining us on Friday,
and then
he's great. If you have any questions about your game, any questions about bowling, he's so knowledgeable.
He's been here. He's been part of our coaching clinics.
Yes, he has.
Just last summer.
Last summer, I believe he was here.
He's awesome. And then Saturday is Pro Bowler Hall of Famer Saturday, where Joe Cal, Brooklyn's own, Staten Island's own, Joe Calandrillo comes back in the studio.
Thank God. I miss Joe.
We miss Joe.
And we're going to be interviewing Mike Albee, the one and only lefty Mike Albee. Great bowler. Great.
And we talk about stories. He's got lots of stories too. And again,
some people had some stories about him. We've learned in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it'll be fun to poach him. I mean,
yeah,
he's been out there a long time, so he is another. We're very fortunate that we've got a group of great ambassadors for our sport, and Mike certainly is one of those. So, well, thanks for tuning in with us today.
Thank you, Jay and Matt and Moss, for joining us today. It was a great show. Thanks for the Blood Orange IPA.
That's gotten to her head. We don't drink on set for that reason.
No, I don't really drink much at all. And I'm looking forward to the Ralph's.
Yeah, we might have to have them on for an official launch and tasting.
I mean, breaking news, Frank.
It happens here, live from Rab's. breaking news. And actually, it's funny. The microphone is over here, so I'm sure this is a little bit more it's louder on your speaker. I apologize for that. We're learning a lot. So, Naz, I don't want to jinx it, but we're at the end of our show. And technically, we did okay today, except for Moss's screen sharing debacle there. But we got through it.
We got through it.
He might have been hacked, and that might have happened on purpose.
Is the sun out now? Is that what's going
on? It looks like, and it still sounds like it's raining a little bit.
Crazy weather.
So, this is why I don't drink beer. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We love you all. We miss you all. Stay healthy. Wash your hands.
Don't touch your face.
Keep your distance,
please.
And before we know it,
stay home, people.
We're going to be back at it, hugging, air hugs.
Well, maybe
air
not
hugs.
Hugging right away.
Yeah, air hugs.
Don't be hugging.
Oh well, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and continue to share our videos. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe. You said it before, but we're keeping it real.
We're trying.
Keeping it real. Hey, Naz.
That was awesome.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.